All right, you've gotten my first announcement, which brought you to this page where you clicked this blue Let's Get Started button to get to a welcome page and this video. So let's get started. Welcome to English 150. I am Dr. Pavletic, and just to tell you a little bit about myself, I have been teaching here at Ferris for over 5 years now. I think actually I'm finishing up my 6th year right now. And my focus in terms of my interests, it's teaching writing at various levels, whether it's English, 150, 250, 325, which is advanced business writing, 321, which is advanced composition. I also teach various literature courses. This fall, in fact, I'm extremely excited to be teaching Shakespeare, and I'm pretty sure that I just heard a whole bunch of groans from all of you guys as soon as I said that. I am very excited. It's okay if you are not necessarily very excited. I got my bachelor's degree from the University of Wisconsin-Parkside in Wisconsin, which is where I'm from. For those of us who grew up in the area, we referred to it as the dark side because it was our local state institution. I got my master's degree at Marquette University, where I majored in or focused in on British literature. And I got my PhD from Auburn University down in Alabama, where I was a split major. So I focused on rhetoric and composition, which is dealing with teaching writing. And then I also focused in on drama, which makes a connection to that lovely Shakespeare that I was just mentioning. All right, so enough about me. I'm sure you're very excited with all of that information. You are taking English 150 with me. And if you are working on an associate's degree, this will be the first of 2 writing focused classes that you will take. If you are working towards a bachelor's degree, it is the first of 3 writing focused classes. I know, this is awesome news, right? Very excited to think that you've got more writing coming in your future. And hopefully this class is going to give you a solid foundation so you can be successful when you go to take those additional writing courses, but also when you take and have to complete writing projects for other courses that are not necessarily a writing skills course. Well, the information provided in this video and additionally below this video is meant to help you navigate Canvas more easily and hopefully be more successful in this class. The text below does add additional information, so make sure you not only watch this video to the end, but you read the text closely. So when you click on that Let's Get Started button, the video will eventually be right here, and you're going to want to make sure that you go through all of the information that is presented here. Now, whenever you log into our Canvas page, this is going to be the starting spot. And just to kind of walk through some of the navigation tips and tricks, here you have access to the course syllabus as well as to the course calendar immediately. So you don't have to kind of, go through a bunch of backdoors in order to be able to access that information. You'll be able to get to it right from here. But if you do want to go and see other areas, you can click on such a thing as the general information, where you do see, the course syllabus as well as the course calendar. So going back to the home screen, you'll see that we have the area for the conference sign up information and links, and we have descriptions of all of these areas in order to help remind you of where you need to go to find different elements. So we have the different unit breakdowns. There are 3 units in this course. So you have 3 major assignments with smaller assignments within. The actual assignment sheets, which give you detailed directions. The submission links for the different assignments and their components. Then we also have McGraw-Hill quizzes and activities. The McGraw-Hill textbook is completely online. And the very first time that you go to access McGraw-Hill, you can actually purchase the book directly through the publisher. And it might be a little bit less expensive directly through the publisher than it is through the university's bookstore. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure that it is a little bit less expensive if you are able to get it directly through there. One area that is definitely going to be important is also the technology tutorials. And I've tried to put in as many as I can think of. And if there are more that you need, please don't hesitate to contact me and let me know. Or if you think of anything that you would like to go through, or or that you would like to add to help future classes, let me know in that respect. Now, other ways that you can negotiate things, you can either do it through the home page, or you can actually click on modules, and it will take you to all of those modules that are linked from that home page. And you can always collapse them if you don't want to have to be overwhelmed by all of the links, and just open up the one that you need at any given time. If you want just the assignment submission areas, you can click on assignments, and it will bring all of these submission areas up for you. So it's not all of the modules, just the links to go ahead and submit assignments. We will have Zoom conferences throughout the course of the semester. There will be two mandatory ones for each unit. And when it's time to access those, you'll be able to click on this and then go ahead and join straight in through here. Now, if you do have any problems accessing things using like your browser on your laptop, which is the recommended way of accessing Zoom, is to do it through a computer, because it makes doing screen sharing a lot easier. You can do it through a phone. There is an app you can download for Zoom. But if you're having a problem in terms of, you don't want to have to waste the data if you're doing it on a cell phone, or you've got internet problems, there is a way that you can actually call a phone number, but you need to contact me in order to get that, because I've got it set up where you can have access to it, but it doesn't automatically or very easily happen if you go directly through here. So just let me know if there is any additional access that you need with respect to Zoom. Now, going back to the home area, as I mentioned, the syllabus and the calendar are both accessible from this main page. Now, I'm in student view, so you don't have to see all the wonky stuff that I have access to, but it also means that if I were to click on these links, Canvas would just laugh at me because I'm not technically a student, and therefore it doesn't recognize my teacher or professor logins. So I've got them queued up here. Now, you are going to want to go through this syllabus. If you look at this document and you're like, man, that's hella long, it's 6 pages, what's going on here? It's because over the years, students have found loopholes and wiggle room, and my syllabus has slowly grown in order to close those different loopholes, and to make sure I'm providing you with as much important, relevant information to be successful in the course. So as it was mentioned, there are, brief descriptions for the assignments that you can use here. And there's information regarding the different types of conferences I mentioned before. That first conference for each unit is going to be to discuss your rough draft. And then we also have conferences for grading. So when it comes time to grade your assignments, it will be done with me together live in a conference area. So it's not going to be me, hiding in, a dark room at 12 o'clock at night, grading all of your papers. We're going to have lots of good discussions and talk through everything in order to help with your growth as a writer. So this is one thing in terms of looking at the different areas. This assignment submission area right here, live this. You want to make sure that you really pay attention to the assignment submission requirements so we don't run into any problems. There is a syllabus quiz that you will need to take by the end of the first week of the semester. It is open syllabus. Like, you can have this document open as you are taking the syllabus quiz. You are required to get a 100% on the syllabus. I'm not reading through this entire document. It's your responsibility to go through and make sure that you've read it, take the syllabus quiz. Now, another thing that you also have access to right away is our course calendar. Now, I am very much a planner. I like to be able to put things on a calendar. I love to use Google Calendar, in fact, because you can set up lots of different reminders for things. So it can be, remind me 1 week before something is due, 2 days, 3 days, 15 minutes. If you need multiple reminders because you're a procrastinator, the entire semester is laid out for you. So you can literally go in and put this into, whether you're an electronic calendar person like Google, or on your cell phone, or if you are someone who likes to use an actual paper planner, of which I'm kind of jealous because I always wanted to be that cool person carrying a paper planner, but I just couldn't pull it off because my paper planner never reminded me to do anything. So it was kind of useless. but you can go ahead and put all of this in there, plan everything out in advance. This document here, in terms of the calendar, you'll notice at the bottom, it also has that grade breakdown again, so you can reference it. And you'll also see the 3 major rubrics that we will be using throughout the course of the semester, if you're curious about how you will be graded on certain assignments. Now, a few other things that I do want to kind of point out to you in terms of, getting started, helping you to be successful. I have this technology bolts and nuts page. These are things that I found that students have struggled with or run into technology issues in online classes. And I just want to kind of quickly run through some of these elements. One is when it comes to browsers. For you who use Mac or Apple and Safari or PC, Android users with like Edge or Explorer, those are proprietary browsers. And they often do not play well with a lot of online applications, not just Canvas. So I really do recommend that you use Chrome or Firefox as your primary browser. I switch back and forth between Chrome or Firefox depending on what is happening. Currently, I'm rocking out with Firefox. That's what I'm using as my primary browser, and I'll pull up Chrome if I need to. But I have had Chrome be the primary and then Firefox as the backup. But I have downloaded installation instructions here for both of them if you do not already have them. But please, not just for this class, but for any class, try to get into the habit of using Chrome or Firefox. It will help save you frustration, I guarantee it. Another thing that I find that often students don't realize, and I've taught some 300 level classes where I'm working with juniors and seniors, you get Microsoft Office, the full Microsoft Office, for free as a Ferris student. So I have a link here for you to be able to go in, get the directions, and learn how to do that. It does allow you to download it on up to 5 computers. So you could put it on your desktop, you could put it on your laptop. If you use, a family member's computer, you could put it on their computer. It gives you all of the instructions, and it gives you Word, Excel, PowerPoint, OneNote, Outlook. It's the entire Office suite for free. That's like several $100 right there worth of software. Another thing that I want to point out has to do with Canvas and notifications. Email is the primary form of electronic communication. Using your FSU email, do not send me a notification or a message through Canvas. I do not check those ever. I have to check enough things as it is digitally that I just want to be able to go to my Outlook email and get your notifications. So do not send me messages through Canvas, because you'll think I'm ignoring you. And I guess in some respects I am, but not intentionally. I just don't use it. This is on the syllabus and I'm reiterating it here. I do post some things through Canvas communications. I post weekly announcements. Each week, occasionally this might break, and this is not something that is like required because I'm not telling you anything that you don't already have access to, but I do try to send a reminder email each week that reminds you of what's coming up. If there are any helpful reminders or tips that I can send out during, the week itself, I will send those out. And occasionally I will use the gradebook notification option. Now this does go through the Canvas messaging system, but it allows me to message something that applies to everybody. So as an example, that syllabus quiz needs to be completed by Friday. So if I go into the gradebook and I notice that, half of the class hasn't finished it by noon on Friday, I might use that notification system to message everybody who hasn't completed it, as opposed to needing to individually select different people. So if you do get something like that from me through Canvas, be aware of the fact that it was probably a mass notification send. And if you need to contact me in regards to it, to send an email. So we've gone through the calendar a little bit, the syllabus a bit, we've talked about announcements. I've also pointed out how you can go ahead and access Zoom. And I just want to say, kind of as a bit of a send-off, that I really am looking forward to working with you over the course of the semester. Teaching English 150 is probably one of my favorite classes to teach. It gives me an opportunity to work with, incoming students and get them prepared and get them some really solid transferable skills that will help them to be successful Again, not just in their next section of, English, going into English 250, but also skills you will be able to use in other courses and also outside of the academy.